What's up, friends? This is Manni and welcome to a video where I break the game completely by running a setup to perfection. We're playing the Skald here on the Dagon robot, an old weapon that is by no means overpowered at all. In fact, it's actually rather mediocre, but we're playing it to its maximum capabilities, okay? So let me show you what this weapon can do in its optimum case, okay? And in the second part of this video, we're jumping into the same Dagon, but with the unknown Splinter as the most up-to-date, or one of the most up-to-date powerful meta brawling weapons, okay? And then I show you what I can do when I make the best out of such a powerful weapon, okay? So if you want to see some sick domination stuff here, that's the video for you, alright? So, and by the way, if you like the content, consider subscribing if you haven't done it yet. So far, it seems like I'm already rather almost killed. But every time I see the enemy phase shifting with their freaking meta Ohokochis before the 9.7 update, so the most broken, overpowered Ohokochis there were, every time I see it, I use phase shift to get out of it and not really take the damage that they're trying to do to me. And you see there's nothing but Ohokochis anywhere. So this is the toughest environment for an older weapon to perform in, but I'll still kick all their asses here in this video, okay? So let's go for it! Alright, that Ohokochi is already aiming at me, but I know he had his ability just a second ago. Of course, that doesn't mean he can have it a few seconds later immediately, because we all know that an ability that makes you completely immune and gives you more the endless mobility should really have a short cooldown. We all know that is how balancing is done, right? Have you not gone to balancing school, guys? If you did, then you know it. That's how you balance games. Yeah. So the thing that this weapon can do, the Skald. You see, we just killed a bystander, an innocent Ohokochi. Yeah, innocent, right? An innocent Ohokochi bystander. He's trying a shield break again. Yeah, and the thing is, we killed him by shooting this guy, and the other guy died from the area effect bump meter explosions that we constantly trigger. And the weapon itself does almost no damage, but the bump meter constantly does. And if you have 6 of them, you're gonna inflict so many bump meter explosions so often, and I think that the Skald is actually the weapon on the Dagon, 6 of them doing this the most. I don't think there's any other way in the game to trigger more and faster bump effect on the enemy. And the bump effect is a fixed amount of damage. I don't know exactly, is it like 30, 40,000 or something that it will always do? Unfortunately, it's not dependent on the amount of HP the enemy has, so it's not like that. Killed him with the kill battleship, by the way. Sweet. But it is a fixed amount of damage that goes through any kind of defense, resistance, and whatsoever, right? So you cannot mitigate that kind of damage. And when it triggers, literally per second, just imagine how it starts to ramp up when it's damage that you cannot block, not even with the Ohokochi shockwave stuff. Of course, you could try to heal back HP that you lost, but no amount of defense systems will prevent that damage from taking you down. And so that is really interesting. For an older weapon to have this kind of performance, I like that, okay? And this is kind of the trick to really beating all those Ohokochis here on the back. I mean, I'm not fighting anything else but Ohokochis. It's literally the only thing I see in this game. Yeah, we're still doing incredibly well against it. The other thing we're seeing is, of course, Ophions as the second placed powerful meta house. I'm even waiting out a little bit of his ability here, and then we'll keep going. We could actually keep firing even through the last stand, but dropping the Ohokochi just with the use of the bump effect is not going to happen through his last stand. Sometimes I feel like it's still useful to save up some damage output and wait for the moment when the resistance drops. Here, by the way, we have a Rook Titan in front of us, a Titan that really doesn't like these kind of weapons, because the constant bump meter effect does not only deal damage to him, and again bypassing his Titan resistance, but on top of that, it also breaks all his physical shields, because it's an area effect explosion that affects all targets nearby, including every one of his 6-8 physical shields he's got around himself. So all of that is being broken as well, which means in turn that next time he's trying to pop the shields for healing, the shields aren't there. He can't pop them for healing anymore. right? So it is something that Rooks really don't like to get shot by, and yeah. And I just see nothing but Ohokochis. These freaking... Oh my god. I mean, I always say I can't blame the players for running what's most powerful, and to a certain point I still stand by that. But at some point I have to say, do you really have to have 4 times or 3 times that boring, overpowered, broken meta robot in your hangar? Just to be more easy mode against your opponents. In a competitive multiplayer shooter where your skill is supposed to give you a good feeling, not the fact that you're just running what's the broken, most powerful, stupid thing, you know? I still stand by it. It's still Pixonic's responsibility to allow things to be too powerful and for allowing players to equip things that are too powerful. It is Pixonic's responsibility, not the players. But I still have to question, guys, do you really have to run 3 or 4 of them? I mean, how much easy mode do you need in a competitive shooter environment, right? And then jumping into the Newton Titan with the Fulgur Tonans, lifting me for a second time, which means the outcome is death. And my skill that I have just proven against you guys with your 7, 9, 15 Ohokochis, you couldn't kill me. I dropped all your Ohokochis. All you need to do now is hop into the Newton and press the choke. Bam, Manni dead. Boom, that's it. No matter the skill amount, no matter what I do, the outcome is death, and there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah, and that is not cool. What I'm doing though is ruining them back. I'm jumping into the one thing, the one solution that existed to Newton Titans that is now being addressed and nerfed, of course. The Ophion, that's the one counter there was to a Newton Titan, with its long-lasting absorber shield, the incredible mobility given, the built-in weapon damage. Together with the Kale battleship, I quickly dispatched 2 of their freaking Newtons, and only died due to him respawning with a shield break Ophion. Yeah, whatever. So that is how you kick some meta boy's ass with a not so up-to-date weapon, but in the end it was a draw. As you can see, I was not able to make it a win. It was a draw. But imagine what it would have been without me. Now, let's run the Raker. No, I'm just joking. I was trying to record some Raker gameplay. I was running into the meta boys with the Curie and the Ohokochi. I was trying to apply all my knowledge of the game and the skills that I've got to suppress both of them with the high suppression efficiency of the Raker, but there is simply nothing you can do against an Ohokochi like that, or even the combined strength with a Curie on top. The Raker, although an interesting robot that I wanted to record some video gameplay for you, that was just not the right situation for it. I have to be honest with you guys, many old robots just really can't perform unless you're getting lucky enough to get into situations where they can. But this is the setup that I wanted to show you in the second match. So let's do what we just did before, but this time we're doing it with the up-to-date weapon, with the massively up-to-date weapon. Okay, so I got heavily shield broken here, and the guy jumps into the Curie, but that doesn't mean he can't get insta-shot killed by one shot, literally, as soon as his turrets disappear. His HP drops down, right? The turrets disappear, he drops down to low HP, or regular robot HP, and that is the moment when I hit him with 6 unknown splinters and he pops instantly. And so they keep respawning Ohokochis, Ophions, and Curie robots, in this case a Seraph. Yeah, my splinters are just ready to insta-whoop everything they spawn. And while it again looked like I died almost in the beginning of this match, it happens quite often, because this is the start where where you don't have all the bonuses from your immune amplifiers, for example. I mean, I'm not running them here on this one, but it can happen that you drop really low at first, but that means nothing, really. It means nothing. You can still dominate the entire match and heal back up to 300,000 as you see here. So it's just important that you don't lose weapons on that moment. That's the important part. So I see a Newton, and that means full face focus against it. Obviously, Newtons have to be face focused as soon as they spawn in. Otherwise, they're going to ruin your gameplay for your video, which is very unfortunate. So not let that happen. And yeah, phase shifting through the next Titan and Ophions and whatever else they're spawning here. Meanwhile, restoring the shield on the Dagon. That recharges incredibly quick. Whereas I recently also recorded a gameplay video with the Bulwark, a robot that has a lot of shields too, but it's an older robot. And what does that mean? It means its shield will not regenerate while the shield is active. The Dagon is a new robot, and new robots regenerate their shield while the shield is active, yes. Of course, that's not entirely true, because we also have Typhon robots that are older that also regenerate while the shield is active, but this is my funny way of telling you that, hey, maybe you should look at that Bulwark and allow it to regenerate its shield while it's running too, you know, because look what a Dagon can do. But just because newer things can do what newer things can do has never really been a reason for Pixonic to let that something similar happen to older things, right? Maybe the ultimate Bulwark will do it. Yeah, I'm guessing it will. Oh man, sarcasm is coming back again. Gee, just like in the Bulwark video. But yeah, so you see, we're still here, and did a whooping 7.2 million damage in a very short match, 17 kills. I carried this match so hard with this Dagon Splinter, and it wasn't like there was no meta in the game. There wasn't these hangars that have nothing but meta, yeah? But there were enough meta robots to battle, and these unknown splinters just killed them instantly. It's like so much firepower. This is literally Titan level firepower coming from this Dagon here. And that means you're gonna kill things very quickly. I'm sorry, Totengräber, mein Freund. I'm not afraid of that Ohokochi at all. First off, I see a low-level last stand, that already tells me something, but secondly, the Ohokochi, once its ability is over, I just instantly drop it to low level. And if he's got the pilot skill, he would have a second ability at 50%, but even many players having it don't actually expect to get dropped this quickly, right? They don't have their finger over the ability button because they don't think that a powerful Ohokochi dies in one shot or two. But it is the case with these weapons. These weapons literally do that with you. So some players dying quick without using the second ability, they may have actually had it, but they just did not expect to die this quick. And by the way, all the Lynx robots, or Orochis, or whatever else, Imugis, Aochons, whatever else is stealth, doesn't matter, because we're running the Seeker drone, so I can see them in their stealth ability, no problem, right? So again, I already killed an Ohokochi. There's one in front of us now. There's one in front to the left under the tunnel that I've just seen before, right? So there's plenty of Ohokochis. And we just dropped him to 0 health and killed him entirely. And apparently there's a Mars behind me. Where the hell did you come from, man? Oh, it's Totengräber again. And in a drive-by, I quickly pop him. It's sad. It's actually really sad that I can kill an entire Mars robot in like alternating shots. Dum 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 dum. And he's dead. The first 2 shots drop the shield, the other 3 shots or 4, they drop the robot, and that's it. And then literally anything else dies in 1 shot shortly after. The only thing that lives a little longer is an Ohokochi. It needs a couple of shots more, and also Fenrirs. Fenrirs and Ohokochis are similar in their tankiness and survivability. I'm just pressing the ability button to recharge shields faster, and that Oho just collapses. It just collapses. It just couldn't handle it. The Titan level firepower coming from the Dagon here is just nothing he can handle. Also, this is the Dagon, by the way, that if you want to make the Dagon as most powerful as possibly it can be, this is what you do. This is how you build it, with 1 nuclear amp with 2 fortifiers. You build it with without the pilot skill, the ability of the robot. You can run the Daredevil skill on your pilot, do more damage, and by doing so you disable your shield recharge ability. You don't do that. If you want the most powerful Dagon, you'll keep that ability because it basically gives you an instant shield refill, almost. That's how you could look at it. And then you can just brawl through the entire team with the insane shield recharge speed. Also, of course, equipping all the pilot skills that you can have on this. I mean, did you see what we just did with this enemy team, or still doing? If this was the old Manni, an old Manni like 4 years ago, looking at what's going on right here, I would say this is a hacker. I'm looking at a hacker. Because obviously he's killing everything in 1 or 2 shots. He seems to have an unlimited amount of shield energy, and the only reason he's dying now is because he's getting corrosion damage ticking through the shield, and the phase shift wasn't ready. So, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, that was me breaking the game a little bit. A little apology to everyone on the other side, except those of you who were Ohokochis and Ophions and Newtons, which for some reason was like 60% of all enemies. I would almost feel like, I don't know, I saw so many Ohokochis, but that's just the Champions League nowadays. And unfortunately, from what I hear, it's not just the Champions League. Even in much lower leagues, you encounter that too, which you should never, right? It shouldn't be happening, but matchmaking is just yet another construction site that has never really received any workers over the last... It's like freaking Germany, man. You see construction sites everywhere, but there's nobody working on them. And as a result, you have construction sites that last for 3 years. There's one tunnel. My navigation system doesn't know that this tunnel doesn't exist. It sends me to this tunnel every freaking time I go to that city. And I've never actually ever seen somebody work on that. It's just a construction site for like 4 years now, 3 years. That tunnel will probably never see the light of day. It used to exist, and they want to change it. And yeah, so that's the same with the matchmaking, with the lags, with hackers, and any number of problems with war robots. There's a construction site, and you see it's nicely marked with yellow, straps around it, marking construction sites, do not enter, be careful. But unfortunately, you're gonna have to enter it in war robots, right? Because there's no way around it, and yeah, nothing is ever done about it. Nice, cool analogy at the end here. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you in the next one. Manni signing off, and bye-bye.